Menopause is a normal life event all women will experience at some point. How and at what age menopause will occur can vary dramatically. Dr. Mejebi is the Chief of Gynecology and Obstetrics at Providence Hospital. She's here to talk to us about this transitional period in every woman's life. That's all I have to say. You know, it's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold, and it's not the summer, it's menopause.
That is true.
So first comes perimenopause. And at what age can that actually start happening?
It varies from person to person, but usually at about age 40, between 40 and 43, most women start noticing some changes.
And what are some of the changes that we can see through perimenopause?
One of them is irregular bleeding, so the menstrual cycle becomes a little bit unpredictable. Some of the other symptoms include the hot flashes, like you mentioned, the hot and cold spells. Sometimes you have the night sweats, and then also some vaginal dryness.
The old vaginal dryness. That's
Yes.
right up, yeah, okay. That is not what a woman is looking for. So that's perimenopause, potentially.
Correct.
Now, we start shifting and moving. You know, we're getting older. We're getting towards 50. What happens?
Usually the irregularity in the cycle actually continues, as well as the symptoms. Menopause is when the cycle stops for 12 months. And the average age for the country is about 51.
So menopause means your menstrual cycle has stopped.
Altogether, correct.
And when it's
1 year.
It's a spate of time, 1 year.
Correct.
Within that year of it having stopped, will the symptoms also stop?
No.
Oh, man.
The symptoms actually varies from person to person.
And the duration of it and how?
Correct. The duration also varies. Some people may have hot spells a few times a month. Some people may actually not have any. So not all women have to experience hot flashes. Only about 75% experience it. Some people go through it easy without any symptoms at all.
And I know that there are certain things that trigger hot flashes. For example, spicy food. Red wine can often do it.
Correct.
So we need to be up to speed, I think, on how we can help prevent the hot flashes.
Not really. For a lot of women, I don't know that you can prevent it, but what we recommend is that you dress in layers.
Yeah.
So if you have a jacket on and you notice there's a hot flash coming on, you can take off the layer. You can dress in cotton clothes instead of synthetic materials, so that would help.
Yeah, polyester is never a good idea.
Correct.
That's so
exactly. You know, if it's coming on, sometimes having a cold drink may help. But usually fanning yourself can be a little bit embarrassing in public.
Right. When it's, you know, cold outside or something.
Correct.
But what's the duration normally of a hot flash? How long will it last?
Usually about a minute. You know, sometimes it may linger for up to 2 to 3 minutes, but on the average it's about 60 seconds and it just goes away. So if you take off a jacket,
60 seconds can feel like a veritable eternity.
That is true. But if you take off a jacket and just give your body a minute to equilibrate, then you can essentially put the jacket back on a minute later and it goes away.
I've also heard managing your breathing, like that helps. But you know, I'm in the middle of a meeting, I can't start going, Angela, you okay? Yeah.
Well, a few ladies have shared with me they just hold something cold. So they just get a cold drink, and that change in body temperature seems to help them. But I've just found the best solution is just taking off your jacket. It resolves that very quickly, and no one has to know why you took off your jacket for a minute.
Exactly, well done.
So if you start taking off your jacket, I'll understand.
Oh, I'm not going through this, not at all. You know, we talked about the fact that this can occur at any age, and I don't know of anyone who is very young and had to go through menopause early, but this can happen to you when you're early, am I correct?
Sometimes you can have premature ovarian failure, but that's a medical condition though, so if you find that that happens early, the ladies should talk with their doctors.
Okay. Now, something we definitely need to talk about is the medicines that's out there to help us.
Okay.
Because when I talk to women, they tell me a certain medication they're taking, and I won't say whatever medication that is, but they're concerned because the doctor will say, now only use this for, you know, a week straight, and then, you know, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to use too high of a dosage because of cancer concerns.
Correct.
So what do women do? What do we have out there? What is currently on the market or what is currently in research and development to help us with those issues? Because men have Viagra and we don't.
I don't know that there's a solution for all women, but the FDA actually came up with the fact that there's a risk with the current medications we have. There's increased risk of stroke, increased risk of cancer. So that's really the fear from the women. What we encourage is take the lowest possible dose for the shortest possible time that you can. The FDA study actually had a high enough dose for a 5-year period. So not all women will need replacement for a long duration. You know, just treat the symptoms.
Okay. What about natural solutions? Because I just had a young lady on who is very much so into being green, and I'm into being very natural. What are some natural solutions for helping women deal with perimenopause and menopausal symptoms?
The most natural approach is regular exercise, eating healthy, and just being aware of your body. Now, I know that there are other natural products on the market, like the black cohosh, but the problem with that is the FDA really doesn't regulate any of those products, and some of the patients find that the products may work sometimes and then they stop working. The only true solution is the medications, the hormone replacement.
But even those we can't use all the time.
That is correct.
Because there are certain symptoms that it seems like if you stop taking the medicine, the symptom will return, whether it's dryness or some other issues.
That is true.
So it's like there's not a good, I get annoyed because there's not a good fix for us. There's not a way to keep women sort of in the game. It almost feels like once menopause happens, a certain part of your life shuts down, and that's not the case for men. And I just don't know why, you know, we've got all this research and all these pills out there for men to keep them going, but the same is not true for women. Yeah, there's something out there, but it's going to perhaps cause cancer. Who wants that?
That is true, but I think in the low doses, though, the risk of cancer is significantly reduced.
Okay.
Obviously, FDA needs to sponsor another study to find out what the impact of the lower estrogen dose would be. Okay. But I really think women can help maintain their symptoms with the vaginal dryness.
Yeah.
Use some lubrication, that helps. You know, regular exercises will help.
What does exercising do?
Aerobics actually just helps keep your system healthy. You know, for most of the ladies, and that's helpful. It also helps cut down the weight, and I think just feeling good about yourself, because the menopausal era also, there's a lot of mood changes, and just not feeling good about yourself. You look in the mirror and you're changing. But
and there's weight gain too sometimes.
Correct.
You know, yeah.
So if you now do the aerobics and you just feel good about yourself, you're able to maintain, you don't find yourself having the middle-age bulge, have your stomach change. So I think just some of those.
Sometimes it's mind over matter, Doc.
Correct. So if you just feel very good about yourself, you're able to tolerate some of the symptoms of menopause a lot better than someone else who is depressed for whatever reason.
Dr. Mejebi Mayor, Chief of Gynecology and Obstetrics at Providence Hospital, thank you so much for talking to us about this very important issue for every woman out there, because it's coming whether you want it to or not.
That is true. Thank you for having me, and I hope I come see you soon.
Oh, we'd love that. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
When DC Breakdown continues, we're going to introduce you to an entrepreneur who teaches the art of mixology in a unique setting. Stay with us.